What's going on, guys? This is Alex USA Days. So me and my friend, we decided to do a small review of the best gaming mouse out there. Probably one of the most popular, so my friend gonna compare them all.
So we have four mice here. We have Logitech G Pro, we have Zowie FK1, we have Zowie EC1A, and we have a Razer DeathAdder Elite Edition. So this is a newer one. I'm gonna go by points such as shape and how comfortable it is to hold, how easy it is to aim with it, how easy it is to switch targets with it, how easy to follow the target, meaning that when you scroll your mouse like this over your mouse pad, you just stick to the target, okay? And then buttons and sensors, if any different. I can start with the sensors and buttons, basically. I mean, all of these sensors are top notch. They start from 3310 and go up to 3360, I believe, 3397 even for the DeathAdder. So all of these sensors are top notch, so I did not feel any difference playing games with these different mices, sensor wise. Buttons, the only thing that I can compare is the buttons of Logitech and DeathAdder feel really good, feel very smooth, and I will give you a little sound later. However, buttons on EC1A are probably the worst, especially the buttons on side. They just feel very mushy, and you just have to push them all the way in to initiate. And overall, these buttons don't feel really well. So I mean, it's really good for action games, but I don't think it would be okay for MOBA like games, or let's say MMORPG games. But for action games such as Overwatch or Counter-Strike, I think this is absolutely fine. Like, you don't really need to worry about those buttons. Okay, so let's start from the first thing, which is shape and how comfortable they are. So my hand is actually 20 by 11, so it's a pretty large hand. And for me, shape-wise, I have two mices that fit me the best. It's a Zowie EC1A and a Razer DeathAdder. They feel the most comfortable in my hand, and because of that, I feel most comfortable aiming with these two mices. So for the shape and for the aim, I think these guys are very equal together for me. However, the smallest one of them is G Pro by Logitech, and although this is a small mouse, for some reason in my hand it feels really good. I use a hybrid claw and palm grip, but this mouse I cannot hold with a palm grip at all, so I have to use a claw grip for this one 100% of the time. And for some reason this mouse feels really good. I do believe that because this is the lightest mouse of them, and I can aim and switch targets with this mouse as well as follow the target just as good as I can on these mices. So it's really hard for me to compare these three together, because they are really pretty much the same or equal for me. Zowie FK1 for me did not work at all. It feels very narrow. So for my hand, which is 20 by 11, right, it just feels really unnatural to hold. And even if I use a claw grip, or I use a palm grip, or I use a hybrid kind of grip, right, it just feels very unnatural. I cannot aim with this mouse at all. This is of course a personal opinion, so don't get me wrong. This is a great mouse, and it's used by a lot of pro players. However, for me, it just feels a little too narrow. It feels a little too long, and the hump here is not big enough, so I just don't feel it in my hand at all, and I cannot aim with this. I cannot follow the target. It's very sticky, so I'm gonna probably put that aside. Okay, so out of these three, now the easiest one I aim with would be probably EC1A. It feels more comfortable in my hand, and it is much easier to aim. However, Second to it goes probably Logitech G Pro, because this is a very light mouse. Although the shape is maybe not the best for me, for my hand size. However, for some reason, maybe because the sensor, because this is a 3310, this is a 3360, I don't think there's like a big difference between them, but this one feels very, very light, and when you switch targets, it's very, very easy to switch targets. It's very easy to follow the target, and it is very easy to aim with this mouse. Also, I think the buttons are much better on this one, and I can just give you a little sound test right now. So this is the left mouse right now, left button, and the right, and then the side buttons. So they feel very, very good, and they feel very you can press probably, I don't know, like a lot of times per second, and while this one you cannot really click that many times, so it's harder to push in. However, for, like I said, for the action games, this will not be a consideration or like a limitation or anything like that. It's still a pretty good one. So aim wise, follow the target wise, and switching the target, I think these two mices are probably the best for me. DeathAdder is a very great mouse. It feels very, very right in my hand. The shape is great, the hump is there, it's wide enough for me, it's long enough for me, the buttons are really, really great. So I would definitely choose this mouse for any MOBA games or MMORPG games. If you don't need like a 9 buttons right here, I would definitely do that. But for me, for the shooter games such as Overwatch or Counter-Strike Go, this mouse just doesn't cut it. I mean, it is almost equally the same as this two, but out of this three, if I had a choice, right, I would just go with this two, okay, and for the shooter games, of course. All right, so with this said, out of this two, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with the EC1A by Zowie. And although the buttons are not as good as 3310, although they have a new model which is Zowie EC1B. So EC1B has the same sensor, I believe, as Logitech. It's 3360. So there's no difference there. Although the scroll here, this one lights up when you plug it in. The new one, which is a B1, it doesn't. So this is where you switch the DPI settings, by the way. So out of this two, I will have to go with this one, because even though they are equally the same for me to aim, switch targets, and follow the target, I still feel more comfortable with this mouse just because the shape and the size fits my hand much better. It is 20 by 11 again, so if you have a large hand like mine, I think this will be the best shape that you have. The second goes this mouse is very, very good. It's pretty much, I mean, I do identical amount of skills and headshots with them, but I just feel a little bit more natural playing with this mouse than this one. However, both of them are equally the same for me. So my choice is EC1A. I also like one more thing about this mouse. It doesn't require any software. So the Logitech software that you have to install separately, and this is where you control your mouse. This one you don't have to do. It does not require drivers. You can change your DPI settings here on the fly, while Logitech does require a software to run, which is not a big deal, of course, but if you just want to plug it in and play, this is a great mouse to go. DPI settings you can change here. It goes from 400 to 3200, as well as depending on what button you push, there is like, I believe, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is how the order is. While you plug this into your PC, you can change your polling rate as well. 4 is for 1000 hertz. So I do usually put click this button and then plug this in. It saves it at 1000 for the polling rate, and then after that I change my DPI by this button. I usually use 800 DPI on this one. So this is very easy option if you don't want to use the software, but like I said, this mouses are very, very equal to me, except my hand is just good, much better feel for the EC1A by Zowie. So to compare the prices between this for probably the best pro shooter game mice out there, the EC1A by Zowie and Zowie FK1 are equally the same price. It's at $60, and then Logitech right now is on sale for, you can buy it for $48 from Amazon, or the regular price I believe for this one is $69. So this is a much more expensive, actually not much, but like $10 more expensive than the Zowie one. DeathAdder, I do believe this DeathAdder is $59 right now. This is Elite, so this is a newer one. Yeah, this is $59. So they're equally pretty much the same price, as these three are the same price, and then this one is a little bit more expensive if not bought from like on sale. But yeah, because of that, especially because of that, because the price are so equal, I will definitely go with EC1. There's just no other benefit for my hand, and the button and the sensor and the way it feels, the way it aims, and all that stuff. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Hope this was a little bit helpful.